Hello everyone. It is March 25th, 2026, and today is a wonderful Wednesday. I am your host, Sanna, and I am super excited to be here with you today. Today, I'm introducing a super trending article from the archive. It is a bit technical, but I promise to make it super fun and easy to understand. The title is TALUS Threshold Multi with Runway Online Signing via Boundary Clearance and Carry Elimination. The code is it's long. So let us dive right into the details of this fascinating paper. To really understand what TALUS is all about, we first need to talk about the big problem it is trying to solve. You see, in the world of cryptography, we are currently transitioning to something called post-quantum cryptography. This is because quantum computers are getting smarter faster, and they could eventually break the traditional encryption we use every day. So, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, recently standardized a new flagship post-quantum signature algorithm. It is called ML-DSA, which stands for Module Lattice Digital Signature Algorithm. It is designed to keep our data safe even from quantum computers. But here is the catch. While ML-DSA is great for a single person holding a single secret key, in the real world, especially for big companies and banks, we do not want just one person to hold the master key. That is way too risky. Instead, we use something called threshold signatures. Threshold signatures allow a group of people, let's say a group of N parties, to share a single key that a smaller group, maybe T out of those N parties, must work together to sign a message. If fewer than T people try to sign, they get absolutely nothing. This is super important for everyday life applications like enterprise key management and securing massive financial transactions. The problem this paper addresses is that making ML-DSA work in a threshold setting is incredibly difficult. Why is it so hard? Well, standard ML-DSA has an inherently nonlinear running step, which is called the R0 check. When a single person signs a message, this check is just a cheap local mathematical operation. But when the secret key is split among multiple people, this roaming step ruins the edited share techniques that make threshold signatures practical. Basically, the parties have to compute a sacra-dependent shift across their shares in all prior technologies. This meant they either had to use incredibly heavy multi-party computation, which is super slow and expensive, or they had to rely on a trusted coordinator holding too much power, or they had to flood the system with noise, which degrades the security parameters. Compared to other technologies, like Micro cores, which require multiple rounds of back and forth communication just to sign one message, TALUS is a total game changer. TALUS stands for Threshold Agile Lattice Unified Signatures. It is the very first threshold ML-DSA construction that achieves online signing. That means the parties only need to send one message during the actual signing process, and the coordinator assembles the signature. Plus, it produces standard signatures that can be verified by human-modified ML-DSA verifier. That is completely amazing. So, how does TALUS actually solve this massive problem? The researchers introduced two brilliant core innovations. The first one is called the boundary clearance condition, BA for short. They made a simple structural observation about the geometry of the ML-DSA commitments. They realized that you do not actually need to compute the complicated sacra-dependent shift every single time. If you check the random numbers, called non-as, during an offline preparation phase, we can identify the ones that are safely far away from the modular rounding boundaries. When the nonce is in the safe zone, which happens about 31.7% of the time, the secret key components have absolutely no effect on a running step. So, the R0 check passes automatically by filtering out the bad non-as offline. They completely eliminate the need for heavy computation during the online signing. The second innovation is the carry elimination framework. Yeah, even with the safe non-nays, the parties still need to compute a commitment hash and put together without reconstructing the full amounts. Since they only hold additive pieces, adding them up normally would cause carries to spill over the boundaries. But the researchers found a clever mathematical identity. They figured out that by using a specific multiplier, the parties can handle these carries distributively using a single secure comparison. Together, the boundary clearance condition and the carry elimination framework reduced the online signing to just a single broadcast round. Now let us talk about how this amazing technology could be applied in the real world. I will give you 3 specific application examples. First, let's look at multi-party custody for cryptography in digital assets. Right now, cryptocurrency exchanges hold billions of dollars in digital wallets. If a hacker steals the single private key, all that money is gone. By applying TALUS, exchanges can split the post key among multiple servers or custodians. Because TALUS only requires one online round, the signing process is extremely fast. Customers will not experience any lag when they request to withdraw their funds. And because it is post-token secure, the digital assets will remain safe, even when quantum computers become a reality. This gives massive peace of mind to both the companies and the everyday users who invest their hard-earned money. Second, we have enterprise certificate authorities and code signing. Big tech companies routinely release software updates for our phones and computers. To prove that an update is genuine and not a virus, the company digitally signs the code. If the code signing key is compromised, hackers could push fake updates to millions of devices. With TALUS, companies can require a threshold of top executives or highly secure servers to jointly sign the software update. The beauty of TALUS is that it produces fully FIPS 204 compatible signatures. This means the devices receiving the update, like your smartphone or laptop, do not need any special custom software to verify the signature. They can just use the standard modes of verifier. This makes upgrading the world's software infrastructure to post-quantum security much smoother and cheaper. Third, we can think about global financial clearinghouses and interbank transfers. When banks transfer massive amounts of money internationally, they rely on hardware security modules to authorize the transactions. These transactions need to be authorized in milliseconds. Previous threshold signature schemes for post-quantum crypto required many rounds of communication. If the servers were located on different continents, the network delay from multiple back and forth messages would slow down the entire financial system. Because TALUS requires only one online round, a network latency is cut down to the absolute minimum. Bank in New York and a bank in Tokyo can sign a transaction almost instantly. This ensures that our global financial system remains both lightning fast and completely secure against future quantum threats. Yeah, it is really incredible to see how deep mathematics can solve such practical problems. The researchers also proved something they call the Lattice threshold trilemma. It proved mathematically that no group homomorphism from a Mason space into any abelian group can simultaneously hide the secret and bind the commitment. This means the carry cost they solved was not just a protocol bug, but was a fundamental mathematical barrier. And they managed to overcome it with their offline filtering and carry elimination. They even created 2 deployment profiles. One is TALUS T, which uses a trusted execution environment for the coordinator. The other is TALUS Mo, which is fully distributed and secure even if some parties are malicious. The REST implementation shows that TALUS completes a signing operation in less than 5 milliseconds. That is astonishingly fast. Well, that is all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of post-quantum threshold cryptography. I hope you found this discussion as fascinating as I did. It is amazing to think about how these hidden mathematical frameworks protect our everyday digital lives. Thank you so much for tuning in to the radio today. Keep smiling, stay curious, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.